am Dr. Arun Patel, and in this lecture series we are going to discuss about a communication system. The first unit of this paper is a amplitude modulation, and in this lecture I will try to answer the following two questions. First of all, what is a communication system, and second one is why the modulation is required for the communication. Now, if you look at the history of the communication, communication is nothing new. In the ancient age, the communication was done through the birds, and then after the communication was done through a person. But here we have a kind of a disadvantage that whatever the information was carrying by the bird or the person, there was a kind of a delay. It was not reached to at a proper time. Then after the communication was done through a post office. Here the difference is that the post office, the common people can also do a communication. They can send the information as well as they can receive the information. Then after there was a invention of a telephone, or we can say telegram was there. Here through this telephone and the telegram we can send the information immediately. But the thing is that again this is a kind of a point to point communication. This kind of the instrument was not used for the mass communication. After the invention of the telephone, already you know, the Maxwell has invented a electromagnetic wave, and then after the Hertz scientist has produced a electromagnetic wave. Now using this electromagnetic wave also we can have a kind of a communication which is very fast. So we can say after the invention of the electromagnetic wave, there is a kind of a revolution in the communication. Now this electromagnetic, here if you see the birds and person and post office, in all this means we are sending the information through the letter, and that was the media. Here when the electromagnetic wave has invented, then all the information was carrying by the electromagnetic wave, and actually we can say now the electronics is introduced for the communication system. So first of all we will see what is the basic communication system. Here I will give you a very preliminary idea about the communication. Now in the communication we can have two types of the information, that can be in the form of the audio or it can be in the form of the video. So two types of the information we can send and we can receive. Here we are talking about only a audio information. Now when we are talking about the audio information, then this audio information is nothing but it is a kind of a sound wave. So whatever the information you want to send, first of all it is in the form of a sound wave. Now when we are going to use electronics, then the electronic circuit cannot process a sound wave. So I have to convert a sound wave into a electrical signal, and already you know it is we can use a kind of a microphone. So microphone will convert a sound wave into a kind of a electrical signal. This will be the shape of the electrical signal. But if you look at the output of this microphone, then the signal is very weak. It will be in order of few millivolt only. Therefore we require to amplify the signal. So output of this microphone is given to a 2-3 stage of the amplifier. Then the output of this amplifier is again given to a kind of another amplifier which is known as a power amplifier. Now here why you require a power amplifier? Because whatever the information is there, we want to send this information at a larger distance. So whatever the radiation is coming out through the circuit, it should be a powerful. So, we use the power amplifier, and output of the power amplifier is given to a kind of a antenna which is called a transmitting antenna. Now remember, antenna is nothing but simply it is a conducting wire, and this antenna is converting a electrical signal into a electromagnetic wave. So here if you see the originally information was in the form of the sound, then it is converted into a electrical signal, and then it is converted into electromagnetic wave. Now we know that the electromagnetic wave is has the speed of a light, so it is propagating into the air and it can go up to a larger distance. On other hand, if we receive this electromagnetic wave, then again you require a antenna which is called a receiving antenna. Now remember here this antenna is converting a electromagnetic wave into a electrical signal. So when this electromagnetic wave intercepts this wire, antenna is nothing but it is simply a conducting wire. So when it will intercepting the wire, then according to the Faraday law, the current is going to be induced. Already you have learned in a 12th standard. So this current or a whatever the induced EMF is there, this induced EMF is again very weak. It will be in order of few microvolt. So we have to amplify this signal and we require a amplifier. Now this can be a multi-stage amplifier. Then output of the amplifier, again we give it to the power amplifier. So we can drive the loudspeaker. The power amplifier is connected to a loudspeaker, and what is the function of the loudspeaker? Which will convert our electrical signal. Whatever the amplified electrical signal is there, it is converting back into the sound wave. So here in this system, we call this part as a transmitter, and this part is known as a receiver. But if you look at this, the block diagram is very simple, that we are converting a sound wave into electrical signal, then the electrical signal converted into electromagnetic wave, again at the receiver end the electromagnetic wave is converted into electrical signal, and again you are getting the information in the form of the sound. But this is not so simple. Remember, here this whatever the diagram I have mentioned, it is very preliminary diagram, and there are number of the difficulty in this diagram. The communication is not so simple in this case. Now we will try to see that what kind of the difficulty we can have in this diagram. First of all, if you see that in this diagram, the most important part is nothing but it is a antenna. Remember, without antenna, you cannot have a wireless communication. Antenna is simply a conducting wire, but it is playing a major role for the communication. So, why this antenna is so important? Now, already you have seen the antenna for the radio, then antenna for the television, antenna for the mobile, antenna for a Wi-Fi system. Then means already we are using this kind of the instrument, and if you see the size of the antenna is different in all the instruments. We cannot have a common antenna for all these instruments. Means the antenna is playing a major role for the communication. So what is the criteria? If you look at the antenna for the radio, it is very long. If you look at the antenna for the mobile, it is very short. Why? What is the reason behind this, the different types of the antenna used in the communication instrument? Okay. So if you look at the criteria for the antenna, what should be the length of the antenna. Here, what is the function of the antenna? That whatever the electrical signal is there, it is converted into a electromagnetic wave, which we call as a radiation. Now, if this radiation is powerful, then only the wave can go up to a larger distance. So, what is the criteria for a powerful radiation? For the powerful radiation, the length of the antenna, this is very important, the length of the antenna must be equal to a wavelength of the signal, or it must be equal to a lambda by 2, or it should be equal to lambda by 4. So, if this antenna is of lambda by 2 or the lambda by 4 size, then only it will produce a powerful radiation and it can go up to larger distance. Now, we will take an example. Suppose my information has frequency of a 1 kilohertz. Remember, this is a frequency of a audio frequency, means whatever I am speaking or whatever you are listening, it has a particular range which we call this as a audio frequency range. So, whatever the communication we are doing, it is between the frequency of 20 hertz to 20 kilohertz. Remember, we cannot communicate higher than this frequency. So, our information, our sound information, audio information will be within this frequency range. Now, for this frequency range, what should be the length of the antenna? Here I am taking an example, let us say my information of a 1 kilohertz, and for this we will calculate what is the length of the antenna. Here, now the length of the antenna must be equal to a lambda. So, what is the relation between the frequency and lambda? We know that the f lambda is given by the speed of the light. F lambda is equal to c. So, if I will calculate the length, then instead of lambda, I will write the c by f. C is nothing but it is the speed of the light, and it is 3 into 10 raised to 8 meter, and our information frequency is 1 kilohertz, so 10 raised to 3. So, if you look at this, the length of the antenna is 3 into 10 raised to 5 meter. It means 3 lakh meter. If we see that if we take another criteria of lambda by 2, then it will be a 1.5 into 10 raised to 5 meter. If you go for a lambda by 4 criteria, then it is 0.75 into 10 raised to 5 meter. Now, if you look at this length of the antenna, is very, very large and it is not practical. We cannot construct this much length of the antenna. So, here you got a first difficulty in the communication, that if you want to send the information within this range of 20 hertz to 20 kilohertz, then the required length of the antenna is very, very large. So, here what to do? What we can do? So, on other hand, let us see, on other hand, if my information is of a 10 megahertz, so let us say f is equal to a 10 megahertz, and now we calculate the length of the antenna, then it comes out to be a L will be equal to C by F. Again it is 3 into 10 raised to 8 and 10 megahertz, 10 into 10 raised to 6. So, here 10 raised to 7, 10 raised to 8. So, this comes out to be a 30 meter if the criteria is lambda. But if I will take the criteria lambda by 2, then it is 15 meter. then we can have a lambda by 4, so 70.7.5 meter. So, here if you see, now the length of the antenna is reduced. This is something practical. Here, whatever the size of the antenna is there, we can construct this much length of the antenna. So, it is not a big one. So, what is your finding? That if you are sending a frequency of a low frequency, then the size of the antenna is very large, and if you are sending a frequency of a higher one, then the required size of the antenna is very small. So, here how to come out from this problem? So, first of all, let us see we are able to construct this much length of the antenna. Remember, let us see we can construct this much length of the antenna. Then again we have another difficulty. So, what kind of the difficulty we can have? Let us say we have a transmitter T1. Now, this transmitter is transmitting the information with the frequency of a 20 hertz to 20 kilohertz. Now, every transmitter has the antenna, so it is producing a electromagnetic wave. Now, this electromagnetic wave is going to propagate into the air in all the directions. So, this transmitter is sending an electromagnetic wave. It can go up to this region, it can go up to this, it can go up to this. So, this circle is known as a preliminary area of the transmitter T1. Now, within this area, you can also have another transmitter. Remember, if you are talking about in Ahmedabad, so in Ahmedabad we don't have only one transmitter. The number of the radio transmitters are there. The transmitter for the Vivid Bharati, then the transmitter for a Radio Mirchi, transmitter for the Radio 1. So, number of the transmitters are there. So, let us say one of the transmitter is T1. We have another transmitter in the same area. Now, this transmitter is also transmitting the information on this frequency range of 20 hertz to 20 kilohertz. Then also it is sending information in all the directions. So, its primary coverage area will be at this much, correct? Let us say we have a third transmitter T3 in the same area. Again the information is with 20 hertz to a 20 kilohertz, and the covering area of this transmitter is this. So, suppose we have constructed the antenna of this much length and we have number of transmitter in the same area, then you can see that here we have a common area. So, if you are here in this region, suppose you have a radio and you are playing a radio in this region, then what will happen? The information coming out from the transmitter is received by your radio. Information coming from the transmitter T2 will be also received. The information coming from the transmitter T3 will be also received. So, here you cannot have a clear information. There will be a kind of a interference of this information, interference of this and the interference of this. You cannot separate the information of T1, T2 and T3. So, this is another difficulty. In that case, whatever the communication block diagram I have explained. So, only constructing a length of the antenna is not a proper thing, but whatever the transmitter we have, all the transmitter we have to allot a particular frequency. Let us say T1 has allotted a 100 megahertz, T2 is allotted to a 105 megahertz, T3 is allotted a 95 megahertz. Now, all the transmitter is transmitting their information on a different frequency, so that when you are receiving this signal, then you can separate the information of T1, T2 and T3. So, in short, if you see that when you want to send any kind of the information, then you require a high frequency. So, there are two advantages. One of the advantage, when we are using a higher frequency, then there is a short antenna. And another advantage is we can separate the transmitter. So, there will not be a kind of a interference. Then third one, that why we have to go for the higher frequency. There is a one more criteria is there, that whatever the electromagnetic radiation is coming out through this antenna, then the power of this radiation is inversely proportional to 1 upon lambda square. So, if I want more powerful radiation, then the lambda must be a small. Lambda must be a small, it means the frequency must be high. So, here whatever the difficulty we have in the communication, then it can be solved if you are using a higher frequency. But what is the difficulty? That our information is of a low frequency. Remember. So, if you look at this, that information signal is from 20 hertz to 20 kilohertz, and the higher frequency whatever we are talking is it is about a 10 megahertz. So, 10 megahertz is suitable for the communication, but 20 hertz to 20 kilohertz is not suitable for the communication. So, now how we can send the information to a larger distance? So, we can have a kind of a superposition of these two signals. Now, information signal is of a very low frequency, so it will be like this. Higher frequency has very small wavelength, so it will be like this. Now, when this signal will be superposed on this higher frequency, then we have another kind of the wave which is called a modulated wave. Now, the thing is that we have to use a low frequency as well as we have to use the higher frequency. So, what is the solution? That the low frequency signal has to be superposed on this high frequency signal, and this process is nothing but it is called a modulation. It is known as the modulation. Now, here we can have a different technique, how we can superpose our information on this higher frequency. Now, if you see the technical word, then the information signal is known as a modulated wave, and the high frequency is known as the carrier wave. And when both the signal will be combined, then whatever the wave is generated, it is known as a modulated wave. Now, in the next lecture, we will see how we can have a different types of the modulation.